What is up guys, welcome back to Real Talk. So in today's video I'm going to be talking to you about how to rev match. I know I've done a video on it before, but I'm actually going to be talking to you about technique on how to learn the basics really easily and how to master rev matching within a few days. If you are new to the channel, my name's Christian and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. But without further ado, let's jump straight into the video. In a race car! You join me in the car. As discussed in the intro, I'm going to talk a little bit about how to rev match and how to heel and toe. Now, reason for this video is I've done one over a year ago now, which is approaching 200,000 views. So thank you very much for everyone who's watched. And I know that it's proven very helpful for a lot of people on how to rev match, how to heel and toe, and how to double clutch. But there are a lot of questions, and the video probably gets 4, 5, 6 comments a day asking questions on the rev matching and the heel and toe side of things. So I thought, do you know what? Let's do a video and try and simplify it on just the basics on the rev matching and the heel and toe. So the positioning of your feet and how I learned it and the best way to actually apply it to your driving. The reason for the techniques, as a lot of you know, it's a really good technique to get used to. Very good to apply to not only your everyday driving, but for track work, or if you're driving your car quite hard, obviously it needs to be manual. And there obviously are benefits involved in rev matching as well, all sorts to do with the car, as well as to do with how quickly you can drive it, the overall stability of the car as well, which I'm not going to bore you with those on this video. If this is the first time you join the channel and this is the first video of rev matching you've seen, I do suggest that you click up. I'll put a banner here on my other video, slightly more in depth about the benefits of doing it and how to do it as well. So I suggest you go and watch that after this video. And for those obviously who have come from the previous video to here, thank you again for coming back. Hopefully after this you'll be able to successfully rev match. So starting off, which I didn't talk about in my first video, is feet position. Now I should have a camera down on the footwell, which I'll bring up now, so you probably can see my feet. Here they are. Make sure we put the handbrake on actually for this. There we are. So the important thing is your feet. Now there are two ways that you can heel and toe or rev match. Now heel and toe is obviously when you've seen rally drivers doing it, they're braking, they're dropping down the gear, you know, they're doing all of that, which you can do and which I use. It depends on my driving style actually. Now that is a hard way to do it. I think it's easier to do it like that when you're really driving your car hard, really hard on the brakes. So that may be the only time you're ever going to drive like that is on a track. So that is better for track work, whereas the easy approach and how I do it majority of the time is big toe, little toe. So what is big toe, little toe? So you see a lot of people who drive cars like this, which I used to do, or drive like that, or however. Now big toe, little toe is as simple as it sounds. You put your big toe across your brake, and your little toe, if you just roll your foot over, it should hit the accelerator. Okay, so you can see that there. Big toe on the brake, little toe when you roll your foot over hits the accelerator. So that is big toe, little toe. Now in order to do that technique with ease, you need to make sure your leg is as straight as possible. Okay, now by doing that, just keep your legs dead straight. You don't want to be at angles. If you've got, you know, large things, it can crush them, so just do some strength exercises and you should be fine. All jokes aside, but you want to keep your leg as straight as possible to make it easy, because if you're doing that, you can miss the pedal, your foot can get stuck underneath the pedal. It's easier doing that because you've got a nice distribution of your whole foot on the pedal. So that is a technique you want to be using. It's very easy to use. Now once you've got your footwork in place, I suggest you practice doing, if you have any idea of heel and toe, you start practicing this in a car park, just this movement, just that movement alone, just to get used to it. Then build up a tiny bit of speed, empty roads or an empty car park, just so you can maintain the pressure on that brake pedal. Okay, so if we actually set off now, and we'll teach you how to do this. So let's spin around. Hopefully we can, there's no cars. Okay, so we'll start with the rev matching to begin with. Now rev matching, Very, very easy. I'm not going to get into the details of what it does for the car because that will be in my other video, so make sure you check it out. But all a Rev Match is, there are 4 simple steps to a Rev Match. Well, technically 3 because you're doing 2 at the same time. The first one is putting your foot, now this is just to drop down a gear, so just to show you how it looks, I'm in 4th gear. If I drop into 3rd, that's a Rev Match for you. Now for those people saying, oh, he's got a Type R, it does it automatically. If I do that again without Rev Matching, which is unusual for me, you'll see the jolt in the car. You ready? See that? That's the difference. By Rev Matching, it enables you to get that smooth change and doesn't unbalance the car. So how do you Rev Match? I know it looks complicated. I know when I first started watching videos on how to do it, I was like, bloody hell, that looks so complicated. It's really, really not. Take your time with it. So you're driving along, you want to drop from 4th to 3rd. There's no braking involved, okay? You put your foot on the clutch, step 1, blip the accelerator. As you blip the accelerator, you change gear. So let's just do it again. So step 1, foot on the clutch. Step 2, blip the accelerator. Step 3, change gear. Step 4, lift off the clutch, okay? So you see how 2 and 3 are very close together, which is revving and changing gear. Those are the 2 that are close. So just to run through it again, step 1, foot on the clutch. Step 2 is rev. Step 3 is change gear. You want to do this at the same time. So rev, change gear. So you see how I'm doing that? I'm in 4th, foot on the clutch, rev, change gear, lift off the clutch. You don't want to over rev it though. You'll get used to your car and how it behaves. So that is basically how you Rev Match. Now you can do this as slow as you like, wherever you want really, because you're not going to be braking, and you'll eventually get quicker and quicker at doing it, okay? Let's go around that bend there. So just to run you through it again, step 1, foot on the clutch. Step 2, rev or blip the accelerator whilst changing gear, which is step 3, and then step 4 is lift off the clutch. So it's really, really easy once you get used to it, and you'll start to find that you start getting quicker and quicker and quicker, and before you know it, it's like second nature. Now, on to the big one, which is heel and toe. I know, besides it looking absolutely wicked and sounding absolutely awesome, there are lots and lots of benefits to it, and you will see the difference and the benefits whilst you're on track or driving your car hard. So a heel and toe is basically a Rev Match whilst you're braking. It's very, very easy. Well, when you explain it, it's very, very easy. Now, the reason we were practicing that big toe, little toe technique is because you've got 3 pedals and you're going to be using all 3 pedals at the same time. Now, of course, you've not got 3 feet. Some people may say, well, I've got 3 legs. You've not got 3 feet, so that's why you need to use 1 foot for both pedals. So just to show you what a Rev Match heel and toe looks like, I'm in 5th gear, drop down to 4th, drop down to 3rd, drop down to 2nd. So as you're braking, as we're practicing the technique, this is what it looks like. So you do a Rev Match, but foot's on the brake, drop down the gear, drop down the gear, drop down the gear. It's very much like that. It's very easy to do. So how do you heel and toe? Applying the same strategy as we did with the technique, big toe, little toe, or you can do it the normal way, the harder way, for those who are just learning. You want to be driving along, but your foot's going to be on the brake, okay? Now this is how you practice to do it. This is the technique you use. So you're driving along, foot hovers over the brake, and then you want to perform a Rev Match whilst your foot is on the brake. So foot on the clutch, same principle, foot still on the brake, blip the throttle, change gear, and lift off the clutch. So again, it's the same 4 steps, but your foot is just on the brake whilst doing that. Now, the most important thing to master with this is your brake pressure. That is why at the beginning of the video I advised to practice just the technique, then to practice doing it slowly in a car park, because a lot of people who try it for the first time will end up slamming on like that, and that's not good, okay? Because if someone's behind you, they will end up going into the back of you. It's simple, and I don't want any accidents, don't want any comments saying, you just made me crash my car. But that is the difference between a heel and toe and a Rev Match. And hopefully that technique, when applied, it should really, really help and make it a lot easier than what people think. Because people do think that they need to stretch their whole foot like that when they don't need to. So there we are, another Rev Match, and just So that is how you do basic heel and toe. So just to show you again, and how it looks fast up. So you're driving along, you want to drop down a gear, well let's go into 6 actually, you want to drop down a gear whilst you're braking, foot on the brake, hovering over, and then a rev match, so foot on the clutch, foot still on the brake, rev, change gear, lift off the clutch. And that is a heel and toe. Now of course you will get more and more used to it, but keep on practicing that technique, because eventually you'll be able to do this. And believe you me, when someone knows that you're rev matching, from the outside you can hear it, it sounds awesome. So I'm in 6th gear and we're going to drop all the way down into 2nd gear. Now, I apologise for the rattle there, but that is when you start getting used to it and apply it to your everyday driving, you'll be able to do that. And hopefully this video has proven very, very helpful, and hopefully you'll all be able to rev match at the end of it. So go out, have a practice in your cars, and use that big toe, little toe technique, because honestly, it will help you. It will really, really help you. And that pretty much concludes the video. So if you found it helpful, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Really, really appreciate the subscriptions, guys. Any questions at all, just drop me a private message on Instagram, which I'll pop up here and is at the beginning of the video, or just leave a comment on the video and I'll be sure to get back to you. So thank you again for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Take care.
So there you have it. That's my technique on how to master rev matching and heel and toe. Hopefully if you guys put it to practice, you'll be able to master it within a few days. Just keep on practicing. If you did like the video and it did prove helpful, please don't forget to hit that like button and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. But I'll see you next time. Take care.